everybody, this is another quick idea that you can get involved in. Some of the children have these books at school, but I know with you guys not being in school at the moment, you might want to get involved, get a little bit arty, and it's all to do with reading. So I wanted to show you my reading journal. Now, my reading journal started life as a sketchbook, quite a cheap one actually, that I bought in a local department store. And as you can see, it's been very well loved. And the idea of my reading journal is not that I write a big old book review or answer lots of comprehension questions or anything like that. This diary, this reading journal lives in my classroom in school, and if children are a little bit stuck at what book they might want to read next, they can have a look inside and see what I have read and see the books that I love, and get some sort of ideas. So only the books that I absolutely adore go into this reading journal, and I spend a lot of time on each page. So it's not like, oh, I've read a book, I'm going to put it in my reading journal. No, it really takes a lot of time. So you can see on the first page I have described, I've had to sellotape it together actually. This is the most amazing book. She's one of my favourite authors, Kate DiCamillo. She's an American author, and this is an image that I took from the front cover of her book and put it into my own style. The book is called Louisiana's Way Home, and it's a really lovely tale of friendship and loss and personal growth. And I have written a bit of a review, but it's more about my memories of the book and when I read it and when I read it to my class and things like that. Another of Kate DiCamillo's books that appears in my reading journal is The Miraculous Journey of Edward Tulane. You can see I've added a little lift the flap there with some notes and my thoughts about the book. I wouldn't necessarily call it a book review, it's just kind of my favourite parts of the book. And my memories of when I read it to my class, and where I first discovered the book and things like that. So that is page 2. Kate DiCamillo again on page 3. This is the most amazing book. If you haven't read it, you should definitely buy a copy. It's awesome. And I painted this particular one. I haven't actually written that much in here. Yeah, this is another amazing book. I could just talk to you all day about this. It's called The Magician's Elephant. It's fantastic. And that made the cut when it came to getting in the reading journal. This is a bit more of a note-taking exercise, so you can see that I took kind of a Polaroid snap of the book that I'd read. These are all the books that I read in the summer of 2019, in the summer holidays. And I just wrote a few notes on where I was when I read it. Oh, we've got some more here. These are, again, my summer holiday reads. Books that I've read to the children. On this particular one, I photocopied the front cover because I didn't feel like doing a drawing that day. And I've drawn, and I've got my synopsis, so a bit of a summary. This is actually an envelope, and the summary is written inside. So just trying to jazz it up a little bit. Carrie's War, which is an amazing book about a brother and sister evacuees during World War II. My class really enjoyed that book, so I thought I'd put that in there. And again, it doesn't have to be a great big lengthy review. Again, I photocopied the front cover here. You could draw the front cover, and it could just be a really lovely quote from the book. So in The Twits by Roald Dahl, it said, "A person who has good thoughts cannot ever be ugly. You can have a wonky nose and a crooked mouth and a double chin and stick out teeth, but if you have good thoughts, they will shine out of your face like sunbeams and you'll always look lovely." And I really like that quote, so I just put it in there. Of course, Harry Potter had to make the cut. When I wrote about Harry Potter, I didn't write a big book review. I didn't write a summary of the book. I wrote my memories of when I read that book when I was a little girl. So I remember my dad buying me a copy of the book, which I still own. It's on my bookshelf down there, actually. And I wrote about my happy memories of when I enjoyed that book and why I love it so much. You can add I used post-it notes, and then I kind of doodled around the outside. You can give them ratings if you want. These are only, I've read more than this, but these are only the books that I really, really love. Okay. Little look. This is an amazing book by a lady called Sophie Anderson. She's on Twitter at Sophie in Space. I will put her link down below. She is really responsive, so quite often if you tweet her, she will tweet you back. And she has just come out with a new book called The Girl Who Speaks Bear. This particular book is based on the Russian folk tale of Baba Yaga, it's just an amazing kids book. Now this one, Goodnight Mr. Tom, absolute classic. I didn't want to write a great big book review or do a piece of artwork, so I just wrote a list of cool words that I learned in the book, and words that I thought, oh, maybe children wouldn't know what those words mean, and then I went and looked them up. So it's kind of like a mini dictionary. I could do a painting of the front cover. There are some parts of this reading journal that aren't finished. This one, for example, we read the book, the storybook all about Anne Frank during World War II. I haven't finished this yet, but that's the beauty of it. You can go back to it, you can colour it in, you can add little doodles as and when you like. I have done a little summary in here. So this is Because of Winn-Dixie by Kate DiCamillo, and each of these little bits of paper, it's like a lift the flap. It's got a summary, and I'm going to add some pictures in there as well. So that's a really nice one to do. There was one more that I wanted to show you that has disappeared. Here we go. The Lion and the Unicorn. This is a really beautiful book. Again, I haven't finished it yet, but I'm going to come back to it at another point. You can paint, you can draw, you can write a little review if you want to. Really get creative and show me all the amazing reading that you've been doing. And the important thing, guys, is yes, it's great to read books that are hard. Yes, it's great to read books that challenge you and help you to learn new words. But the most important thing is to really enjoy what you read. Just love it. Read books that you enjoy, and that is what will stick in your head. So all of these books in here, I remember reading when I was a little girl, apart from the new ones that I've read to my class, but you know, Famous Five, for example, Harry Potter, books by Shirley Hughes, including The Lion and the Unicorn. Read what you love, and it won't feel like a chore. And record it, because this book I started last year, and the amount that I have read in that time, I really surprised myself. I sometimes think, oh, I don't have time, I've got lots of jobs to do for school and things like that. But actually make the time and look back, and you will be so, so proud of how far you've come. Before I let you go, there is just one more thing that I want you to see. This is available as a free download online. There are lots of different versions of it, but essentially it's a picture of a bookshelf. And every time you read a book, you can colour it in. I've just done mine in quite simple colours. You could even draw your own bookshelf, and you add the title of the book that you've read, and it's a really good way of recording everything that you read, but in a kind of a fun way. So you are absolutely welcome. I'm not telling you, my class, to do one of these. You don't have to, but if you would like to join in, it's quite a fun project to get involved with. It gives you a chance to get a little bit creative, and I hope to see all the amazing reading that you guys have done when you come back to school. See you later. Bye.